NBA trade deadline losers and winners. If you're not a winner, you're a loser. And if you're not a loser, you're a winner. And there's no in between. Here he is. You think this is the biggest winner in the whole trade deadline? Luka Magic to the Lakers. There he is. He's already throwing his setup in LA. He's ready to go. He's ready to play some hoops. I think he's out with the calf injury still. I believe it's a calf, but should be in there soon, hopefully, and see how him and LeBron look on the Lakers. It'll at least be fun to see. We'll see what happens throughout the season, but it'll be fun to see at least. So this article here, fansided.com, they have the Los Angeles Lakers as the number three winner in the trade deadline. We'll go through these other teams as well. Um, yeah, right here. Someone told you a week ago that Luka Doncic would be traded off to the Lakers. You probably would have laughed it off. Yeah, Lakers had to double check their phones. Shams broke the news. Yeah, Luka went to LA in exchange for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and one first round pick. Um, yeah, Mavericks just got fleeced on this. Honestly, everyone kind of agrees. It's such a stupid trade. They should have shopped Luka around. They would have got so much more back from him if they would have actually properly shopped him and put him on the trading block. But I guess they didn't want to have to talk to Luka or see him around the facilities or whatever it is while that was happening. So they just kind of just did the quick trade. I don't know. Really, I have no idea why the Mavs would do it this way and make it happen so quick and not shop him around or anything like that. But have the Lakers as the number three winner in the trade deadline, and I feel like the number one in my opinion. But let's get down to some of these other winners. Right down here too. Back to the Mavs real quick. Yeah, the fans were understandably furious at Nico Harrison. Trading the franchise cornerstone. Of course, they should be furious, and of course they were. Um, the thing that's so weird though, like from my view, Nico Harrison did a great job like building the team up. I think he was there when they drafted Luca. Um, they have Gafford on the team. Derek Lively they drafted as well. They got Kyrie Irving. Like they just made so many smart front office decisions, and Nico Harrison was there for the majority of those decisions. And now all of a sudden they just trade away Luca to the Lakers for AD and some scraps, and just kind of throw away their long term future. And their immediate future looked better keeping Luka as well. They just made the finals. They made the Western Conference Finals a few years ago, but everyone agrees on that. Um, that's what I think is so weird that Nico Harrison did such a good job building the team all around Luka, built a whole team around Luka, made so many smart front office moves, and then I think a lot of people kind of agree on this. I've heard a lot of people talking about this, but it seems like an up top owner move. The owner's just told that a direction they wanted to go. Um, they kind of want to. I won't get too much into it. They want to have some leverage to possibly move the team to Las Vegas or get a sports gambling casino built in Dallas. So they're trying to make some leverage with Texas legislature to essentially get gambling legalized in Texas, where I live. This way, they can build a new Dallas stadium because Dallas's lease runs out at the American Airlines Center where they play. That runs out in 2031. So the new owners, I think it's Adelson family, they're heavily invested in gambling in Las Vegas. So they're the new majority owners over Mark Cuban as of last year. And long story short, they're pushing a lot of money into Texas legislature to hopefully get the gambling legalized. This way, once the lease runs out at American Airlines Center, they can have a new stadium built and attach a big old casino right next to the stadium just to further push sports betting. And then, once the game's over, people can go to the casino and just make more money for the family. That's all that makes sense to me because Nico Harrison has been a great general manager. He's made so many smart moves to build the Mavericks team. So he's really just a scapegoat in all of this, to be honest. But moving on, San Antonio Spurs, my team. No secret that we're fully committed to winning now after getting De'Aaron Fox. Wemby just developed so fast, Victor Wembanyama, that I wouldn't say we're in win now mode right now. We basically are, like it says in the article, but next season probably we'll make some trades in the off season, acquire I think two, possibly three first round draft picks, and then we'll be really pushing for a deep playoff push next season by Wembanyama's third season. He'll only be turning 22, so it's awesome to see how quick San Antonio's getting it together. But yeah, we made the trade, didn't sacrifice any of our young core. San Antonio kept Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, Stephon Castle, four of our big core guys. So Kings basically got fleeced. That's why it's rated the number 2 trade. Got De'Aaron Fox. He already played a game with San Antonio, and he fits right in. Our pace looks so much faster, and we look so much better having De'Aaron Fox out there. But yeah, immediate impact in De'Aaron Fox's Spurs debut led us to a 1-point victory over the Hawks. He had 24 points and 13 assists. He looked really happy to be out there on the court versus when he was playing with the Kings and he was trying to get out of there. But yeah, he just kind of clicked right in with the team. Wemby was sick. He had like a respiratory illness. So he probably had mucus and stuff in his nose and his lungs and crap like that. But after the game, he said he was starting to feel better. But you could definitely notice his stamina was down for the game. So I think everyone's just excited to see how the team plays once Wemby's at 100% and he can play off of De'Aaron. And De'Aaron can also play off of a 100% Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, they have the number one winner of the deadline. They have the Cleveland Cavaliers right here. One of the hottest teams. Couldn't get any stronger. They made the trade, sending Karis LeVert, Georges Niang, and draft picks to Atlanta for DeAndre Hunter. Karis LeVert's been having an okay season, but he's been digressing a bit from what he used to be. But yeah, I picked up DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta. DeAndre's averaging 19 points. Yeah, 19 points this season. I think like 6 rebounds or so. But anyway, he's 6'8", though. He's a very versatile defender. He shoots the 3 ball, I think, at 37%. So he's going to fit right in with the Cavaliers and, just make the team even better. Chicago Bulls. This is now the losers. The number 3 loser was the Chicago Bulls. So the Spurs own their 2025 first round pick. So they were involved in the 3-team trade between Chicago, San Antonio, and Sacramento to get the De'Aaron Fox trade done. But yeah, Zach LaVine ends up going to Sacramento. They get their own 2025 first round pick back from the San Antonio Spurs. So they're just in all-out tank mode at this point because they got their 2025 pick back from the San Antonio Spurs. They're just trying to have a terrible finish to the season just to get a pick as high as they can, to be honest. But yeah, ultimately the Bulls did trade to get that pick back, so that was good. But then at the cost of Zach LaVine, it says right here, never found a true role on a directionless team. So yeah, that's sad. Zach LaVine was there. He was always balling, but Chicago never put a team around him. They failed to move Nikola Vucevic. San Antonio would have wanted to pick him up. I bet a lot of teams were in trade talks to try to get Nikola because he's a really good big man. But like I said, for whatever reason, the trades fell through. Whatever fell through, Chicago couldn't get back what they wanted, I guess, and it just didn't happen. Then they extended Lonzo Ball. I won't get into that too much. It's not really about the trade deadline, but yeah, lost Zach LaVine. Couldn't trade Vucevic, which is another one of their good players. They wanted to get rid of him so they can get more into tank mode, but for whatever reason they couldn't do it. Atlanta Hawks down here, another one of the biggest losers. Jalen Johnson had a season-ending injury not too long ago. Responded by dismantling a promising squad. They traded Bogdan Bogdanovic, 3 second rounders, Bones Highland, another one of their good players, and Terrence Mann. I didn't even know they traded all those, but yeah, that's a bunch of their core players. And then they traded DeAndre Hunter to Cleveland, like we were talking about up there. And then DeAndre Hunter averages 19 points, versatile, probably 1 through 4 he can defend, really good defender. And then again, he's like a 37% 3-point shooter, giving you 19 a game. So Atlanta really hurt on that one, but they're kind of just going into all-out tank mode at this point, which you'd like to see as a Spurs fan because we own their first-round pick for this season. Yeah, if they're looking for ways to frustrate Trae Young, they're making progress. Hunter was having a breakout season at 27 years old, making it the perfect time to trade him if they'd received proper value. Said instead they took a step back because yeah, they didn't get a good return in the DeAndre Hunter trade. Um, Clint Capella remained on the roster despite persistent trade rumors suggesting they wanted to move on. Trae Young has been vocal about his desire to win now, but after this deadline, that goal became much harder to achieve. I think Trae Young is going to be trying to get traded in the offseason. You've heard his name in a bunch of trade rumors the past year or so. And he's trying to win somewhere. He wants to get out of Atlanta. There's nothing for him to win in Atlanta in this point, and they're not trying to put a roster around him. Obviously, let's see. Phoenix Suns were the number one loser. Um, they wanted to acquire Jimmy Butler from the Heat to pair him with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I don't even know why they would want to do that. Like, that's not even a good. What is that starting lineup? Kevin Durant at power forward, Jimmy Butler at small forward, um, Bradley Beal at shooting guard, and Devin Booker at point, and then they plug in a big man, I guess, but just not a good fit. Butler, Booker, Durant, and Bradley Beal, they're all ball dominant guys. They all play a kind of similar style. Like they're all ball dominant scorers. Ideally, Jimmy doesn't bring what he used to bring defensively when he was younger. He's still probably, well, I guess Beal and Butler are the two best defenders out of those four guys, but they both digressed defensively as they've gotten older. So they're not like lockdown type of defenders like Butler used to be. Yeah, Bradley Beal's no trade clause complicated negotiations because he does have the no trade clause, and the deal fell through. Phoenix found themselves scrambling because I guess they were trying to trade Beal somewhere, but he was declining the destinations they're trying to send him to. It was nothing he would agree to waive his no trade clause to get traded. So they entertained offers for Kevin Durant, despite the fact that Durant had neither requested a trade nor wanted to leave. And that word got back to Kevin Durant, and y'all know how Kevin Durant is. Like, doesn't nobody likes to get disrespected, but Durant's a pretty loyal player. Having stuff like this happen, or I say he's a loyal player, except when he left to Golden State, but I guess that was totally within his right to do that. He was a free agent, but regardless of that, he didn't ask to leave. He didn't ask to leave. He didn't want to leave. And then he hears about rumors having his name in trade rumors that he didn't even expect that coming. So that kind of came out of nowhere. But then it says Phoenix chose to hold on to him. I said in a previous video they didn't choose to hold on to him. They wanted to trade him before the trade deadline and get something back, but they just couldn't get the package back they wanted because they would have had to trade Kevin at a discount because all the teams know um, that he's not going to want to re-sign with Phoenix after next year, and that he just doesn't want to really be there anymore. So nobody was giving them a good package in return, with Durant kind of having the leverage there. Um, let's see. Made no meaningful improvements. Traded away Yusuf Nurkic. They're at a 25-25 record. Their championship window is rapidly closing, it says. I feel like they never had a championship window open, honestly, since they got this big three. Durant's future with the team is now in serious doubt. Yeah, that's the thing too. The reason people don't want to trade or give Phoenix a lot for Kevin Durant right now is because they know once the offseason comes, Phoenix is going to be even more desperate to trade him because they know if they don't trade him in the offseason, that whole season is going to go by, the 25-26 season. Then he's going to leave as an unrestricted free agent, most likely after that's over. So they'd rather trade him now and get something back from him, or not now, but in this offseason. They'd rather trade for him then and get something back at least. But again, it's going to be a discounted package because teams know they pretty much have to get off him. Otherwise, they're going to get nothing in return once he leaves as a unrestricted free agent. But yeah, winners and losers. Again, in my opinion, I feel like the Lakers were the number one winner of the trade deadline. But real quick, let me check one thing real quick. Yeah, I kind of feel a little bad for KD. He got blindsided too with all of his name being all of these trade rumors, and he thought he was just gonna stay in Phoenix. I guess he likes it there, but he's not winning any championships anytime soon in Phoenix. Yeah, I'm sitting at a whopping 15 subscribers, trying to get to 20 by the end of the day. So if you made it to the end of the video and you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Really helps out my channel to get bigger. But yeah, please comment below what you think about all the craziness in the trade deadline, who you think won the trade deadline, what you think Kevin Durant should do when he's in the offseason rather, what you think the Suns should do with Kevin Durant. Now we'll see y'all for the next one.